Everybody to the SEO Mad Scientist, where we talk about recent SEO test results, go over what's currently working in the SERPs, and break down what is not. Today I'm joined by my good friends and associates, colleagues, partners in crime, Alex and Danielle. How's everybody doing today?
Peachy, how are you?
Peachy as well. Very peachy day. Besides the fact my garage door just fell off like 30 minutes ago. That was fun.
Minor
My
details.
wife's about to pull out. Yeah. My wife's about to pull out of the garage, and all of a sudden I hear, and I'm like, oh god, that's not good. It happens. It's life. All right, so today we have Danielle with us. Brought to you by our sponsors, Windsor Insulation. When you need insulation, call Windsor. I don't know what the tagline is.
Insulating your home, saving you money.
There you go. That's so. If you're around Gettysburg, around that area, I assume you guys service a wide area, right?
We do. Going to
And
Maryland,
we've
Virginia, Pennsylvania.
yeah, wow, okay. So last time we brought everyone on, we were going over the Windsor Insulation campaign, and we had just, we were going over the results up to around February 27th, where we had built just a ton of custom signals. For anyone not familiar with the custom signals work that we do, we essentially look at competitors, other links that are being obtained for the top ranking sites, and obtain those links. And we had gotten some pretty amazing results. Danielle's phone was already ringing.
Definitely.
And yeah, since then, I think we've done some data aggregators, some socials, and pretty much just some citation work. So wanted to bring everyone on and kind of take a
Some
quick
light
look
work
at
for the results that we're getting.
it. Is actually, I'm very surprised. I was looking yesterday and I was like, what do we do? Like, were we doing some like insane amount of work? I don't think we even. Yeah, let me share my screen so people could see what I'm looking at. Like, I don't even think we did the full listing optimization yet, did we? Like, we didn't do GBP posts or
No?
Q&As or any of
Nope.
that. Do we even do the services yet? Do you know if we listed services on the GBP?
I want to say
I'm
that
not
that
sure.
was done initially.
I think that was. I think we did
Yeah.
the services, the description, and I think that was actually before we even started this campaign here. Yeah. So, and so you can see the dates here started at 3 March this year, but in reality, I think it was like October, September last year
That's when we
that we
started like
started the
custom
custom
signals
signals.
and yep.
And that's when we did the listing, the basic listing optimization and the
Right.
custom signals. And the website. The website, which we kind of believe is probably playing a pretty big part in the rankings, which we've already, kind of always thought that. Let me get the website up here as well. So yeah, essentially since February, all we've done is social properties, citations, started doing some of this other stuff.
Yep.
And then we do have the website as well, which I'm going to throw up here because this is pretty well optimized for your service keywords. Obviously, insulation is a heavily optimized term. But even these ones here, the fiberglass insulation, we were just looking at some of these other service keywords and the geogrids as well. So we'll just jump over here and start looking at it. Let's go to the main one. What's that? The insulation terms, right?
Yeah.
Insulation company. I guess we take a look at. You can see here just from the little line, we've definitely made some progress. And this one's actually only tracking, wow, we only started tracking insulation company in January, which is interesting. And last time we were on, we were reviewing up to about right here.
Yeah, mid-February.
And this is all just custom signals work.
Right.
I think we probably have one of the, so this one here, installation contractors, this one goes back to the very beginning. We weren't even ranking in this little tiny area. So this is all doing custom signals. It definitely took some time for those custom signals to start to hit. That's probably due to indexing, right? Because we got to wait for Googlebot to come through and crawl
Yeah.
and recognize all that. And so the custom signals really brought us to here. So we had to zoom out so we get a better view. And then on top of the custom signals, we've done more citations, more socials, more NAP, structured and unstructured citations. I was saying, I think everything fits into that bucket essentially. And a lot of that was completed end of March, middle April, and we can definitely see the impact
Right.
from NAP, really, right? I mean, that's really all we did is created brand properties with the name and address and phone number and optimized content.
Pretty much it. I think it's worth saying
And the
that if you have
website.
like a low budget client, you can make it work sometimes.
Yeah.
Because these are
There's
simple
these
one-off services. Custom signals is super affordable. Like,
the super affordable is I mean, yeah, social accounts and custom signals. Let's see. Like if you're running custom signals, you're spending like, 1 to 200 a month depending on how much you're doing. Like if you're
yep,
really hitting it like crazy. And if I remember correctly, we weren't even running this like every month. We just kind of hit it,
we
right?
did. Yeah.
Like,
I think we did like
yeah, so
2 months at a time, and then we did 3 months at a time in 1 month.
yeah, which is it kind of like when a lot of people come to Web 20. Danielle, you probably know this more than anyone, but people come in there like, what can I do? Like, is that like that just a thing, like a one-off thing?
Yep.
And they'll often want to see a result. And you could tell that it's kind of difficult to correlate the result when you're doing custom signals a ton this month and then a ton from like here to here, and then you really start seeing results like through here. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, but you can buy up
SEO
to,
is
I think, 20 hours. So doing a ton, it just depends on how many hours or what level you purchase. Sorry.
exactly. And I would look at it kind of in 3-month sprints. Like if
Yeah.
you're gonna purchase a ton of custom signals today, um, don't just look in 2 weeks or 3 weeks for the result. You're gonna kind of have to look in a 90-day chunk
Right.
to really see what's going. Which literally that was about 90 days. October, November
Mm-hmm.
ish is when we were doing most of these signals, and it was in January, beginning end of January is when we saw most of the action. And then it wasn't even until February that we really started doing a ton more stuff.
Right.
Um, I was talking in the beginning or a little bit ago about the website. These are some keywords I just added now, still installation keywords. Um, but you can see like I think we didn't do any major optimization. Like we didn't do any link building for CanFoam or anything
No.
like that. It's listed, like we listed in services on Citations if they're available and stuff like that. Like I believe we were looking at the custom signals last time, but literally just the on page having this information here, and we have inner pages as well, but essentially having all of this information line up with all the citations we're building, all the social properties we're building. That's probably the biggest correlation we've seen in these rankings.
Right.
Do you remember what keyword we were talking about last time, Danielle? That was a more
Ooh.
obscure one, or maybe Alex, do you remember? I know it was like on 3 pages.
Was it the can
Let's see.
foam?
Yeah, I want to say it was that.
Can foam insulation. Maybe it was
Or spray foam.
soundproofing. That was it.
Oh,
There you go.
or maybe it wasn't soundproofing, because I don't see any rankings for soundproofing. That was one of them we were looking at. Radiant heat installation. So in the beginning, when we were building these custom signals, we actually saw a lot more correlation from random things on the website to rankings. If that makes sense. And I wish I could find, like, even this home energy. Was this one of them? No.
I don't remember home energy.
Here we go. Energy efficient home services. So you could see how there was a point where, like, and we mentioned this on the website, but then as we started building out the brand more, like, we don't talk about energy efficient home services on all the citations and things like that. We mostly talk about the installation services, the materials. We talk about energy efficiency, but not really in relation to home services or even solutions. Like, we don't say energy efficiency solutions as a service we offer, right? And we could see where these kind of, like, it's like almost like they were pulling them from the website and, like, these little places, but then as we optimized, they kind of went away. Maybe it was soundproofing. You know what I should do is just go to our beautiful little test section here.
There you go.
And for anyone who's not signed up to the SEO Mad Scientist, you can head on over here. You can go take a look at any of the tests. If you try to access them without being signed in, it'll just prompt you that you got to sign up. All we require is an email address. This is loading very slow because I'm streaming and doing all kinds of stuff here. So here we go. How strong is the impact of citations and signals in map rankings, which is literally all we've really done for this listing so far. So let's see here. Installation. Contractors. Can foam. Yes, you were right. It was can foam. But then we have soundproofing Littlestown. Must have been the Littlestown keyword. Do I have a different config here? No, this is a different config, but this one's zoomed out a little bit. Okay, so looking back over here, it was soundproofing Littlestown that we were actually looking at. And when you search can foam service Littlestown 2, it was pulling these pages. And again, if you want to go read through the full update, go to web20ranker.com/SEO tests. You can see all the tests, click on them, check them out. And fiberglass insulation. Do we add service pages to this website?
I don't think anyone has added any now.
So this is the page where I think we had soundproofing Littlestown. Let me get soundproofing. And on the fiberglass page, we had 3 references. Fiberglass installation. Yep, there they are. And we were showing for some soundproofing terms. And so again, that I think that's the most interesting thing I've seen with this so far, besides the fact that we're getting massive rankings from just citations, structured and unstructured. But in the beginning, we were getting a lot of this random kind of stuff that was being impacted by the website. And now that we're building these citations and things, we're seeing a lot more lineup between the website and the properties we're building and the things that are ranking, and more importantly, the things that aren't being identified between the on page and the off page are going away. Like, we're not seeing stuff like that, like soundproofing isn't taking off.
That's
Do you
throwing
do
things around his
soundproofing?
office.
Is soundproofing a service?
So soundproofing comes along with insulation. If you don't have any barrier there, you're going to hear everything. But yeah, we've had people say that they notice a total difference when they get their insulation done and just hearing the rain on their house. So
That makes sense.
yeah.
So if someone called you and asked to soundproof a room, you wouldn't really offer that. That is
I
a
don't.
different service.
Yeah, like when I think of soundproofing, I think of padding on the wall, like in a music booth or something like that. So that
That
I
makes
wouldn't
sense.
say we offer that kind of service. No.
Do you do
And that's
internal
probably,
wall insulation,
Yeah,
Danielle? So that could be considered a type of soundproofing then.
there you go.
but I'm betting Google doesn't. That's what I'm kind of leaning at or getting towards is the more we see can foam insulation, cellulose insulation, fiberglass insulation. Fiberglass insulation isn't a soundproofing insulation. Like people generally wouldn't be looking for fiberglass insulation to soundproof their music studio, right?
Right.
So the more that we've kind of optimized the off page and communicated to Google that we are an insulation company and these are our services, some of these other, like even home energy efficiency,
Mike, it's
insulation plays a
considered
part.
sound dampening, not soundproofing for interior wall insulation. So that could be something that we add.
Sound dampening?
Correct.
And that's sound dampening. Sound dampening is. And then the question would be, I guess, if Google knows the difference as well. Because that's really what we're talking about here, right? If what Google understands these things are in relation to each other. So soundproofing, then if we probably had materials and things and talked about music studios and stuff like that, then maybe we would rank more for those again. But since we mostly focused on can foam insulation, it'll be interesting to see if we show for any of these terms, because that would be a related term then, right? So like fiberglass
Right.
insulation, someone searching for sound dampening solutions is technically a valid listing to show.
Right. So I was just looking at one of the products that we use for cellulose blown-in insulation, and it's things like insulation features are fire block rated, fire resistant, formaldehyde free, insect and rodent treated, which is something that a lot of people are interested in because of the nice issue that they can have in the insulation. And soundproofing insulation is what it says.
So if we go to Google and we type in sound dampening service, we don't get a local pack. I'm getting soundproofing companies even. Sound dampening packages. Soundproofing experts. Soundproofing companies might offer sound dampening services. Sounds like Google, or it looks like Google might not really differentiate too much between the two, though, which is probably a bigger reason. Just like energy efficient, like home service, energy efficiency, insulation plays a part in that, but there's so much more to that,
Right.
right? If someone's calling you asking for like energy efficient home services of variety, I guess. I don't know anyone who would call and just be like, I want to make my home more energy efficient. Help me. Right? Is that a
You'd be
thing?
surprised. So we actually had somebody who had a outdoor building, and they had done everything from putting in new windows to having the their electrical company come in and air seal everything. And he was like, my last resort is having the insulation done because he had no insulation in the ceiling of this big barn that he had built. So he did that, and we've heard. I think I heard from him a few weeks ago, and he was like, "My bill is cut down $100 just from having the installation done." So I was like, "There's your ROI." Like, told you.
I would turn that into a case study, Danielle.
I should. You're definitely right.
Plug that into your marketing. Yeah, that's definitely a good sales point.
Yeah.
Especially in home services, when you could show a home service offsets the cost savings, like solar panels. That's a big angle for those too.
Yeah. Well, not only with inflation can you get a rebate from your energy company, but then you can also write it off on your taxes. So there's lots of avenues where you can save money, not just on your electric bill every month, but yeah.
Get that insulation, people.
What were you going to say, Alex?
I was going to say along the lines of the soundproofing and sound dampening, noise reduction is something that you had mentioned from a rain on the roof situation. So noise reduction is another thing. I just run a quick topical map. Thanks to ChatGPT, and noise reduction is a prominent keyword there. So
yeah, when I think of insulation, I would think of noise reduction rather than soundproofing, because I guess my mind just goes to a music booth.
Yeah, that's what I think. My brain generally thinks that too.
Right.
Like the big foam walls and sound studio and stuff.
Foam walls without the restraints.
It's still soundproof, but yeah. All right, so I think we've kind of covered everything that we have on this. Again, this is pretty insane, the amount of what we've seen just from the on page and the off page citations, which I don't know if anyone watched last week's or this week's, whatever week that it aired. I was talking with Lasha about a recent test we did with on page, and that was the I'll just pull it up real quick since we're here. Essentially, I've made a brand new website and swapped out the homepage with the most spammiest content you can possibly create, and yeah, this is the result for like SEO keywords.
Wow.
From just throwing up the most spammy, and none of these were ranking before, so this is why we've been leaning really heavy on the on-site. Like, there is a very strong impact of this on-site and your listing, and we're also now seeing the impact of the off-site and lining up with the on-site as well, which soundproofing we did mention in some of those custom signals we built, and that's when I first was checking that way back when in February or so, we saw some of those spikes, but it was only on a few citations. It was not a regular occurrence where we were talking about soundproofing or reducing noise or those things.
Right.
So very interesting to see all those developments. Alrighty, anyone else got anything for the audience today? I think we've covered most of the Windsor insulation updates at the moment.
Yeah, looks good.
We'll definitely be back with more updates on this as we start to do some of the heavy hitter stuff and really see what happens. And we haven't even started posting.
To come on here anymore.
It's gonna be busy.
Right.
Yeah. We'll be doing the next one. Danielle couldn't make it today. She has 72 jobs this week and is hiring if you're looking for work.
I'll be doing it from the back of my trailer.
Awesome. Yeah, that's the goal. That's why we do it, right? Yeah. That's why we do all this. So awesome. Well, I guess with that, we'll take it out again. Go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe, go sign up to the SEO Mad Scientist at web20ranker.com/SEO test. You can check out all the previous updates. You can sign up right there and access them. So, again, every Wednesday, and that's it. That's didn't really do the best
May
outro
not
there,
be
but we're
here.
gonna. Yeah, she's gonna be busy doing installation jobs. So, all right, everyone, have a great day. We will see you next time. Bye.